Hello friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So we are going to discuss some important topic related to history, art and culture, and it is going to be very useful for UPSC 2020 and other government exams as well. So the first topic that we have is the Munich Agreement. So what was the Munich Agreement? First, we have to know between which country the agreement was signed. So, it was signed among Germany, France, Italy, and Great Britain on September 29, 30, 1938. So, you have to remember the name of the country because UPSC can ask something about which country and confuse you with their questions. Okay, so Germany, France, Italy, and Great Britain. So Hitler's appeasement and an attempt to keep the peace in Europe was strongly supported by Great Britain's Prime Minister at that time. Prime Minister was Neville Chamberlain, and after coming back from Munich, what Chamberlain did, he waved the piece of paper signed by Hitler and called it a declaration of peace with honor. Okay, so in return for European peace, the subtle land region was permitted to be annexed by the German. So after the Munich Agreement, after 1 year of Munich Agreement, what happened? On September 1, 1939, German troops marched into Poland. Okay, and triggering the beginning of World War II. So after the 1 year of Munich Agreement, which Chamberlain called peace with honor, what happened? German troops marched into Poland. And Great Britain and France, which had assured help to Poland, declared war on Germany and its allies 2 days later on September 3. So the beginning of the war exposed to the world the folly of the Munich Agreement that was signed less than a year previously, a deal that has been seen as a disastrous act of appeasement of Adolf Hitler. Okay. So the next topic that we have is Firoz Shah Kotla Stadium. It was in news because Delhi's Firoz Shah Kotla Stadium is set to be renamed after former Prime Minister Arun Jaitley, and it is going to be renamed as Arun Jaitley Stadium. So the stadium took its name from a 14th century fortress Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and Firoz Shah Tughlaq was a Turk ruler of Tughlaq dynasty who reigned over the Sultanate of Delhi from 1351 to 1388. So what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss some important works that had been done by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. So what he did, he built Firoz Shah Kotla. Kotla means fortress, prepared Delhi with gardens, constructed canals, hunting lodges, and repaired Qutub Minar, Hauj Khas, and Suraj Kund. Okay, and he worked to improve the infrastructure of the empire by building canals, rest houses, and hospitals. So Firoz Shah was the first ruler to build a fortress next to river Yamuna, which was quite an urban sprawl. Emperor Ashoka's pillar erected near Ambala in 250 BC was transported to Delhi and placed in Firozabad. Okay. So the next topic that we have is the formation of interim government. On 3rd September in 1946, the interim government of India led by Jawaharlal Nehru was formed. So this question UPSC can ask that who led the interim government. So you have to remember that Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, it was the only such cabinet in India's history in which arch rivals Congress and the Muslim League shared power at the center. The interim government functioned with a great degree of autonomy and remained in power until the end of British rule, after which it was succeeded by the dominance of India and Pakistan. So the interim government, what was the interim cabinet? On September 2nd, 1946, the Congress party formed the government. On September 23, the All India Congress Committee, AICC, ratified the Congress Working Committee's decision. And the Muslim League initially decided to sit out of the government, and 3 of the 5 ministers reserved for Muslim were occupied by Asaf Ali, Sir Shafat Ahmad Khan, and Syed Ali Zahir, all non-league Muslim representatives. Okay, so you have to remember the date and the name. Okay, so the next topic that we have is Asiatic Society of Mumbai. Why this was in news? Because the Asiatic Society of Mumbai, which was started by and for white European men in the early 19th century, elected the first woman president in the 215 years of its existence. So who was the first woman president of Asiatic Society of Mumbai? It is Professor Vispi Balaporia. We will discuss about Professor Vispi Balaporia after it, and she will head the institution that is a treasure house of remarkable historical artifact. So let us discuss something about Asiatic Society. So the Asiatic Society was founded by civil servant Sir William Jones on 15 January 1784 in a meeting presided over by Sir William Jones, Justice of the Supreme Court of the Judicature at Fort Williams in Calcutta. It aimed to enhance and further the cause of Oriental research. In 1832, the name was changed to the Asiatic Society of Bengal, and again in 1936 it was renamed the Royal Asiatic Society of Bengal. Okay, and now it is renamed as Asiatic Society of Mumbai. We know it as Asiatic Society of Mumbai. One of the main activities of the Asiatic Society was to collect the old manuscript of India. There was an enormous collection of Sanskrit manuscript with society. Okay, so let us discuss something about Professor Vispi Balaporia. Professor Vispi Balaporia, visiting faculty at Mumbai's Jahind College, an institution where she was earlier vice principal and head of the Department of English. Okay. So next topic that we have is Dadabhai Naoroji. So guys, I have wrote something about Dadabhai Naoroji in a blog, and the link of the blog I will give that in description below. Okay, you can if you want, you can go and check that description. So September 4, 2019 was the 194th birth anniversary of Dadabhai Naoroji. So guys, as you know, our UPSC prelims is going to be on 4th October. So on September 4, 2020, it is gonna be to 195th birth anniversary of Dadabhai Naoroji. So he was called the Grand Old Man of India or Great Old Man of India, who was among the first leader who instilled national consciousness in the country. He was born in 1825 at Navsari in present-day Gujarat. Naoroji was a prolific scholar with varied interests. His distinguished political career aside, Naoroji was a professor of Gujarati, mathematics and natural philosophy, and also worked as a businessman. So Naoroji's lasting intellectual contribution was to expound the drain theory. Okay, drain theory, drain of wealth theory. He was closely involved with the Indian National Congress in its early phase and served as the first Indian member of the British Parliament. So I have written all the thing about Dadabhai Naoroji and his theory of drain of wealth. If you want to read deeply about Dadabhai Naoroji and this theory, you can check the description below. So guys, thank you so much. Guys, and if you like the channel, please do subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon. And thank you so much for watching. And this is the second part of video, and if you have not watched the first part, go check it out. And thank you so much. Goodbye.